Good. It's about phasing color. ABC now. You're gonna roll the. I guess so. That's right. So you can always okay. That's. You can always Alright, so what are we looking at here? Let me zoom in so you can see the unit. There. Wait a second, but 2.71 is less than 500. Now we're talking millions of megos. Yeah, so it's kind of insane. And just to show how ridiculous these numbers are, like we as humans cannot comprehend. There was some like 1,000 seconds ago was like a few hours. 1,000 minutes ago was like a few days. 60 seconds. A second ago? Yeah, you're right about that. There you go. Okay, I'm gonna have to pull it up, but it's something like 1,000 minutes was something, but 1,000,000 minutes was like a week ago. But like 1,000,000,000 minutes was like 3 years ago, and like 1,000,000,000,000 was like 30 years ago, something like that. Like that, as humans, like we literally can't comprehend like these when you bump into 3 digits. Something like that. Look
You
it up.
count.
I should have that ready for future class. So 3.17 teraohms. What do you think? Pretty good?
Very good.
Yeah, very good. All right, so that passes. That's good news for us. Now, I, as the qualified technician, I want to make sure that our system is nice and clean. So here I have my Dawn power wash.
So where you're just
Cool. All right. So customers gonna be super stoked. His system is super clean. He's gonna be super stoked. He's gonna give me a bonus.
Yeah, I guess
This is gonna be awesome. It's
31.
My cable's super clean. It's going pretty good. All right. What
What day?
What, we're testing that?
It told me it's
Yeah, it's nice and clean. Actually, tastes better than 3.17 teraohms.
Holy.
Is that gonna, like, is it moisture or
Yeah. I don't know. It's super clean. It should test really well, right? Test it.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Since last week, we opened up the floodgates. We're blowing stuff up every week.
What was the number, Neil? 3.7.
3.17 teraohms. The customers are going to be super stoked. The cables are so clean. They're going to test even better than 3 million megohms. Oh, who's Brad? What is that, the name of the customer? Yeah, what's all that about?
So this is a case where a guard terminal would be useful?
Interesting. Very interesting. So we're going to call it RCU clean. So it's clean question mark. It's really weird. I thought the customer would be super stoked, but it turns out that he's got bad cable. How am I going to tell him this? But it's okay. Luckily, a subsidiary of my company, Cable, 20% overhead for a similar economy. So he's going to be super stoked though, because even though his cable's terrible, my company can take care of it. It's not a big deal. Now, so BRD sensor breakdown, actual insulation breakdown. What the megometer detected is a breakdown in insulation. Do we think this is? No, this was obviously a false condition. I wouldn't recommend. Yeah, so this is 16.73 megohms before it, determined dielectric breakdown or insulation breakdown. And how does 16.73 match up to our NETA standards? Ooh, thumbs down. Thumbs way, way down. Okay? And eventually it said breakdown. Yeah, break it down. So, insulation breakdown. So not good, but don't worry. Like I said, the customer has no reason to worry. We'll take care of it at a good price. Right? And so the test terminated at 18 seconds. Didn't even bother going a full minute because it sensed an abnormal condition. So Jeff is exactly right. In this case, and obviously this was kind of a artificial kind of scenario, but can anybody think of scenarios in which your test environment is going to mess up your readings when in fact you suspect that the cable condition may not be so bad? Yeah. What else? Rain? Yeah, if you're testing in the rain, if that's the only window you got. Sean, what do you got?
Another could be if there's a lot of moisture in the air.
Definitely. Yeah, if you're down by the working down by the ocean, you got salt water in there. If you're in the Pacific Northwest, it's a super foggy day, right? But it's the only window you have for an outage, right? The customer says, this wing of the hospital can only go down for the next, 8 hours. So get in there and test that cable, right? So what can we as testers do to basically look at what we think we're looking at. Just like in here, we want to look at the internal resistance of that cable insulation. So that takes us to a helpful upload. I know Mario's good about logging in and getting all the material, so I wanted to make sure we got way ahead of time uploading that. In this case, oh yeah, vote. Don't forget to vote. But yeah, for Matthew and anybody else again, and Robert's gonna want to make up for that lost bonus point, so you can vote again. I don't mind. Alright. And in this case, alright. So we have a helpful insert here, which is an addendum, right? I may not be able to legally distribute Megastitch in time, which will have like a price of 19.95 pounds because it's a British company. Right? But this is an addendum, an application. So this is free to give out. So this is when we will use the mystery guard terminal. Just humor me because I know we're on he's stealing all my moves.
He didn't clean.
Oh, exactly. So his cable, not clean. Mine, customers can be so stupid. So in this case, we'll use our mystery third lead. Guard terminal. So what exactly does that mean, guard terminal? I guess because if I was trying to steal my moves, you don't have to go through this in kind of its full capacity here. But it all comes down to, large diameter cables. We saw the 220 kV gets a lot larger than this. Porcelain bushing, power transformers, high voltage circuit breakers. Anywhere you anticipate an unintended path to ground. So if I was to have another very helpful, awesome drawing. Cool. So we'll have a cable here. We'll have our conductor coming out here. Pretty good. Okay, but if we anticipate that there's going to be an unintended path to ground, then it may travel along here to the outside. And then if there's a tape shield coming out, then it may pick up that unintended path to ground. Right? And so this is going to look like breakdown. It's going to look like a short circuit. It's going to look like an abnormal condition. Right, so what can we do about that? In this case, this is when we apply our guard terminal. Okay. Purple. All right. So what it would actually do is come into this equation, and it would be subtracted from the internal calculations that happen on this guy. So then all you're really looking at, the very end, would be you would be testing what you meant to test all along, which would be the resistance internally of the cable insulation rather than any unintended outside paths. Such products exhibit long creepage paths, dimension size, and the unwanted surface leakage resistance can cause defects like my down power wash. Probably right. So, if that's the case, this is when the guard terminal can enhance the accuracy of the measurement. All right. By using the guard terminal to perform a 3-terminal test, the surface leakage current can be ignored. We take this red path, unintended path, and we take it literally out of the equation. So then components are charging current, absorption current, conduction, or leakage current. So this is what's taken out. Surface leakage would need to be excluded if just the insulation resistance measurement of the material is required. It's going to be done using the guard terminal, which is available on most testers, like this one here. Alright, so this is a bushing, but we're going to look at the exact application that we're interested in, which would be, yeah, you can guard your house. Aha! Alright, now we're talking. And so interestingly enough, yeah, this follows the same convention as here. So we have our black lead on current carrying conductor under test. We have our red lead on the tape shield or the outside world. Right? And in this case, we're going to need a braid which, yeah, we're gonna use this guy. So really just have a metal braid. And it's as simple as putting it over the path that we think it travels over. And if you can see it, let me put you over here. Alright. So we're looking at this configuration here. I'll separate them out just a little better so you can see. But the main setup with the black and red leads hasn't changed. We're still looking at the tape shield, so we're still looking at the cross-sectional kind of representation here. We still have our black lead on the main current carrying conductor. So what formerly tested bad, even though we know it's good, right, from our previous test, we want to be able to prove that out. And so in this case, it's as simple as a conductive braid around the surface where we think the unintended path is being created, and this one's being guarded out.